So I wanted to get on here and talk to you all tonight. I guess first I'll introduce myself for anyone that doesn't know. I am Tina Moniz, and I am a stay-at-home mom who is also a widow. I lost my husband a little over a year ago to suicide, and since then, it's been quite the storm, I'm sure, as you can imagine. But it's also been a whole lot of growth in who I am, and the reason for the growth in a year that probably would not be of growth is because my heart was completely poured out and emptied and shattered and steamrolled and all of the things, but all in front of Christ. I just gave it all to him. There was nothing left of me, and he came and just grabbed up all the pieces and basically has just been putting me back together. I'll never be fully back together. I'll never be whole again, because there will always be that massive hole in my life that was filled by Kyle. And raising his and my children without him and the heartache that they deal with on a regular basis, on top of my heartache, I miss him tremendously. There's no words. There's no words to explain what it's like being here on this earth without him. But I know that being here is a temporary, painful inconvenience, because I know that he's in eternity, he's in heaven, and I will be able to join him there one day. He's free from pain mentally, physically, emotionally. He's full. He's whole. And that brings me a tremendous amount of peace of knowing that. So, anyway, I wanted to come on mainly. I felt like the Lord has been wanting me to do this and speak out and to be a voice to all sorts of things. Mental illness, one of them. But a lot of tonight, I think, is mainly about of how we sell ourselves short, of how we criticize ourselves, of how we are our own worst enemies. And like I'm totally guilty of it. We don't give ourselves enough credit a lot of the times. And if you're anything like me, you are really, really hard on yourself. And I'm kind of done being hard on myself, although I was hard on myself tonight in the process of what I was doing. And I kind of kicked myself in my butt for it, because I see this self-deprecating attitude that people give to themselves, and about everything, like they're not good enough, or they don't have it, and they can never do this, or anything that it might be. And I just feel like in this last year of my life, I learned how much I absolutely 100% depended on my husband for so many things that I did not give myself credit for that I could have done. And I've always been a pretty capable woman for a lot of things, but there was many things that I just was like, oh, here, no, you do it, because you would do it way better. And yes, that's true. But even if I didn't do it way better and I messed it up, It's okay. There's always room for error. And I think that's the one thing that I'm realizing, that even if you mess something up, you still tried. You still gave it a shot. You still put your best effort forward. And then you can try again. And you can learn from those mistakes. You can learn from the messing up. And then you do it again. And in this last year, you know, I didn't have him to just come in and hang the television on the wall. That was always his job. There's just been so many things that I have taught myself how to do because I knew there wasn't somebody else to do it, and I wanted things to get done. And so I did, and I pulled my kids along with me, and I've taught them how to do things that they couldn't do before, and it's just really has stretched me. It stretched them in a lot of ways that I couldn't have seen coming in, of course, such tragedy in our life. And, you know, I give all that credit to the Lord because he's been my rock. He's been my foundation. He's been this steady in my life that I knew wouldn't change. And so with that, my heart just pressed into him more. And it was like the greater my heart hurt for my husband being gone, the greater my heart went to the other side of finding Jesus, of finding who he really was and the characters of who he was. And really, like, it's like took away from me criticizing the characters of who I was, the more that I tried to learn about the characters of who Christ was. And in all this time, I mean, the dreams that he's given me and the verses and the just so much that he has just poured into me. And it's just been this beautiful, it's been a beautiful exchange. I will never stop missing Kyle, but what I've gotten in the absence of my husband is beautiful. It's unexplainable. It's unimaginable. And I just wanted to like get on here and talk to you that like if you're going through something, if you're struggling with anything, even if you want to just try something new, find Jesus. Like, I don't know. I just, I can't impress upon anyone enough of what he's done for my life. Because I wouldn't be able to sit here right now and be able to share with you in everything that's happened. I would have been a complete mess, a complete and total disaster. And there are those days that I have, you know, that I don't want to get out of bed. And he tells me, he makes me get out of bed. He tells me, get up now. And I do. And I keep living. I keep living for my kids, and I keep living for him, and I keep living for myself, because life here right now is to be held in your hand. It's not to be disposed of. It's not to be wasted. It's not to be, there's so much to cherish. There's so much to be grateful for. You just have to look really hard. But once you open your eyes up to that looking really hard, there's so much more that'll be opened up to you. And I don't know. I just really wanted to encourage you that if you're struggling right now with mental illness or anything, dark thoughts, that like, you know, Jesus just loves you so much, and he died on the cross for your sins, and there's so much grace for anything that you're going through in life.